Welcome, everyone, to MetLife Stadium, the home of the 2018 NJSIAA Rothman Orthopedics Football Championships here on NJ High School Sports Live, powered by Local Live. And we're going to be treating you to a good one here today, the final game of our first three bowl game championships at MetLife Stadium here on the first day of the state finals. And this one is for the South Group 5 Bowl Championship between number 11, the Sayreville War Memorial High School Bombers, and the number 7 ranked Williamstown Braves here on NJ High School Sports Live. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Long, joined in the booth alongside Lou Brogno. And we're happy that you could join us for our third broadcast game here today. And we saw two blowout victories in the first two games, and we're thinking that this is going to be a much closer affair between these two evenly matched teams, as we're going to be crowning a South Group 5 champion here today.
Great matchup here today, Dan, between two top 15 teams, if you will. Sayreville, as you mentioned, coming in 11th, and Williamstown coming in at number 7. The Braves undefeated, a South Jersey power, with the big victories over Washington Township 34-3, Vineland 28-7, and Rancocas Valley 56-20, a game in which the Braves compiled 540 yards of total offense. This Sayreville team, 10-1, and they did it with defense. They beat Hillsborough big, 42-7. Manalapan, always a very tough program, 24-14. But last week, shut out the North Brunswick Raiders 6-0. Great defensive effort against a pretty potent North Brunswick offense.
So we'll find out who's going to win the first ever South Group 5 Bowl Championship here tonight at MetLife Stadium. And fans, from the opening kickoff to the trophy presentations, NJ.com's award-winning staff of reporters and photojournalists put you in the middle of the action. For in-depth coverage of this game and every championship game at MetLife Stadium, photo galleries, recaps, and stats, visit NJ.com/HSSports. And today's broadcast is presented by Rothman Orthopaedics, providing world-class in-network care in 16 New Jersey locations. Visit RothmanOrtho.com. Sayreville will be in their blue and gray, and Williamstown will be in their all-white, as they are trying to cap off their season, as you mentioned, Lou, a perfect 13-0, while Sayreville is trying to go to 11-1 and close the 2018 campaign with a South Group 5 Bowl Championship win. In our first two games, lopsided victories for Rutherford and Hasbrook Heights, had both Bergen County squads go back to their nearby homes with some more prestigious hardware. Now we're going to have a champion from the South bracket.
And two very enthusiastic crowds here. Sayreville making the trip up the New Jersey Turnpike to MetLife Stadium, and they brought a pretty good contingent here to East Rutherford. The Sayreville band beforehand playing in great form, and as you can hear, a good roar coming from both crowds on both sides of the field. Williamstown, by the way, out of the Philadelphia area. They hail from Gloucester County. They are 103 miles away from this stadium, MetLife Stadium. So a long trip for the Braves fans. They're hoping it won't be a long trip on the way home.
And this is the beauty, Lou, of these new bowl games. Again, if you're just joining us here today, fans, these are brand new bowl games, having sectional champions being represented. The North 1 and North 2 sectional champs always collide here this weekend and also next weekend. And the South and Central champs will also collide. That's where we're seeing here today. And a lot of times we're having opponents that, one, have never met, and two, opponents that have never been here at MetLife getting to experience this championship feel at the biggest stage.
Yeah, that's absolutely the case with these two schools. Williamstown, when they have been in the playoffs, I'm sure have played down maybe at Rowan University down in Gloucester County, down in Glasgow area. And Sayreville usually plays at Rutgers Stadium when they play in their state finals. So this is a whole new experience for a lot of these young men.
Under the lights here, shining brightly as we're in our third game this first day of championships at MetLife Stadium. Sayreville will receive to begin today's action. Williamstown will be kicking off and will receive to begin the second half of play. Feel that energy throughout the stadium, especially leading up to this one. The bands were going at it in the early goings, and it just has some juice. Definitely after the first two games were much more lopsided in one fashion, and we could feel that difference even before the start of today's game.
Yeah, you could feel the electricity in here for this game. A lot of anticipation for this matchup.
The winner most likely will finish in the top 20 according to NJ.com's rankings. As we have Williamstown currently coming into tonight's game, number 7, Sayreville number 11. We will find out what will be in store for us in a couple of moments here. As we are about to get underway in the South Group 5 Bowl Championship game. Taken in by Sayreville just outside their own 5-yard line, trying to take it the other way. Great open field tackle, though, by Williamstown. After the return was taken in by Jakari Carter, number 2 for Sayreville. And the Bombers will take over on offense for the first time this evening. They're coached by Chris Began, his 4th season at the helm of his alma mater, 31-13 overall record, a stellar 7-2 playoff record, and again coming off the sectional championship against North Brunswick their last time out.
Big tackle by Vinny Quagliato, who went downfield for Williamstown, setting the tone against a very tough return man in Jakari Carter.
First down and 10 for Sayreville at their own 18-yard line. They're trying to string it out to the near side, and once again, no running room for Carter. And Jakari Carter getting the first handoff of the day for Sayreville, setting up second down and long after the tackle for a loss made in the backfield by Williamstown.
Impressive play by the sophomore Brody Colbert to get the speedy Carter.
Second and 14 now. For the Bombers back at their own 14-yard line, opening offensive series of the game for either team. 4 wide receiver look for their quarterback, Mark Whitford. Whitford's first pass attempt is knocked down to the line of scrimmage, deflected. Big breakup on that play by number 21, David Williams, getting hands on it, and quickly Sayreville is facing a 3rd and 14 deep in their own end.
Junior linebacker with good size, 6'3", able to get his big paws on that one. And now a 3rd down and long for Sayreville. We'll see an opportunity for the junior quarterback Mark Whitford to air it out. He's got good numbers this year.
As he'll hand it off on the jet sweep to the far side, making the initial man miss, but not the trail defender. It was Connor Holmes. Sayreville doing not much of anything there in their first offensive series. Credit the swarming defense of Williamstown for making the stop. And it should be no surprise there, Lou. Williamstown, their defense has allowed a total of 79 points on the season and have been such a stingy unit here in the sectional playoffs. It's 10 points a game allowed in their run to the Group 5 sectional championship in the South.
Interesting call that time, though, by the Bombers. Obviously thinking along with us that Williamstown would be looking for the pass. They decided to go to the run, but that's a lot of yardage to pick up on a jet sweep.
Holland getting that one away with pressure right in his face. Williamstown will take it on one bounce at the Sayreville 45-yard line and nothing much more. Good tackle there in the open field for number 5, Connor Anthony, the senior, making the stop. And this will be the first time that we'll see the electric quarterback, number 7, J.C. Collins, stride onto the field for Williamstown. His team 12-0 on the season, averaging 32 points a game on offense. And Collins, he's been dynamic dual threat at the quarterback position.
And his coach, Frank Fusatola, calls him a leader. He's a captain of this offense. Tremendous numbers, which we'll give you after this play.
A handoff on first down. Stacking up inside Sayreville after it looked like it was going to be Josh Reese, number 23, getting the handoff.
Well, let's fill the folks in on J.C. Collins. 1,142 yards rushing, 16 touchdowns on 157 carries, 77 for 119 through the air, 1,192 yards passing, 11 touchdowns.
And here he goes with a late pitch to Inge in the open field. No one's going to catch him. Touchdown, Williamstown. Wade Inge, the senior, scoring his 20th touchdown of the year. He's committed to Delaware State, and he's staked the Braves out to an early 6-0 advantage.
Tremendous pitch by J.C. Collins, who waited till the last minute to make the pitch, and that gave Inge the opportunity to be in the open. And a very impressive start for the undefeated Braves of Williamstown.
They got the great start on defense, and then their offense responds right away as well.
Keep in mind, this is a Sayreville defense that's given up only 21 points in 3 playoff games and pitched a shutout last week.
Nick Pomerlew's extra point is up and is good. And with 9:35 left to go in the opening quarter play from this NJSIAA Rothman Orthopaedic South Group 5 Bowl Championship, it's Williamstown, the undefeated Braves, jumping out on top, courtesy of this great touchdown run from Wade Inge.
There's the great pitch. He allowed the defense to come to him, and then Collins flipped the ball to Inge. And once he flipped it to him, the defense pretty much had come all to the quarterback, J.C. Collins. So Inge was all alone, and off to the races he went.
And Coach Frank Fusatola in his 26th season at the helm of this Williamstown program, 170 wins all time. Led them to 2 sectional titles in the last 7 seasons, and in this season alone, more wins, 12, than the last 2 seasons combined, 8.
You know, we mentioned that Williamstown had 540 yards of total offense against Rancocas Valley. Wade Inge had 304 of those yards. 304 yards versus Rancocas Valley.
Unbelievable. Including a school record 304 yards, as you mentioned, on the grounds, and 4 touchdowns. And he's gotten off to a red-hot start here tonight against Sayreville. Defense that has not allowed all that much. They only allowed 7 points a game in the Central Group 5 sectional playoffs. Already down 7-0. Second kickoff of the night for Pomerlew. Now Sayreville once again upended before they can get to their 20-yard line.
Well, let's see if Sayreville can crank it up offensively. Their quarterback, junior Mark Whitford, has had a terrific year. 111 for 185, 1,333 yards, 14 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. And he really has come on this year. His arm strength is greatly improved. And his head coach, Chris Began, says they've been able to reinstall some of the playbook that they ran in 2016 when Jason DeMild was the Bombers quarterback and had a tremendous season. Last year they had to go away from some of those plays. They didn't feel that Whitford had the arm strength, but this year he has been able to deliver.
1st and 10 for Sayreville, starting at their own 17-yard line. It will be a handoff on 1st down. Savon Kirksky, the senior, number 4, 580 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns on the ground coming into tonight's game. He'll pick up a 4 on 1st down, 2nd down and 6 now from the 21. After Williamstown forced a quick 3-and-out, they capped off that opening scoring drive with a long touchdown run from Inge. Now can Sayreville have an answer? Carter was the man in motion, but then it's going to be across the middle of the field. And once again, back-to-back plays to Kirksey. That'll be enough for a Sayreville 1st down.
And a nicely executed middle screen there to Kirksey as he was able to pick up that 1st down. So Sayreville gets their first down of the game.
1st down and 10 for the Bombers, starting this at their own 32-yard line. Trips wide receivers to the top of your screen. Be a handoff to the bottom, though. And that time combining in to make the stop, and leading the way was Julian Gravener, the 5'10", 210-pound junior outside linebacker for Williamstown. Again, this defense has held 10 of their 12 opponents this season to under 10 points in a game. And the most they've allowed all season long, Lou, 20 points in a game. That coming in the sectional final. Screen pass to the far side. That time bottled up for limited gain on the play after Rayside was the receiving target.
Well, Williamstown reacts very quickly and very sharply to the ball afterwards, but Jakari Carter with a nice play made the, it was Connor Holmes who made the first man miss. But a big play upcoming here.
3rd down and 4 now for Sayreville at their own 38-yard line, trailing 7-0 here with 7:30 left to go in the 1st quarter. Rolling the pocket. Over to the near side, bobbled and dropped. Incomplete, as Jakari Carter was the intended target, as Whitford rolled the pocket to the near side and will fall incomplete in the play. And it looks like Coach Began will send out his punting unit for the second time in this first quarter of play.
Tough play for Carter as the pass was behind him, and he had to spin and twist his body around to try to get his hands on it.
Again, this is a matchup the first time here in the Bowl Championships between two teams ranked in the top 20 of NJ.com. Williamstown number 7, Sayreville number 11. Sayreville will get it away. Little back Williamstown up. Sayreville will get the ball to bounce a little further for them inside the 30. Will finally be deadened to a stop back at the 27-yard line for the second time tonight. It's going to be Williamstown and their offense checking back onto the field after their star running back Wade Inge went the distance for a touchdown to get the Braves on the board early 7-0.
Well, Williamstown's speed certainly a big factor in that opening drive leading to the touchdown. J.C. Collins, one of only 5 New Jersey quarterbacks with 1,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing. Special talent back there for the Braves.
And here goes Collins with the first rushing attempt. Bounces it to the outside. Plenty of green to the far side of the field before Collins is pushed out of bounds. J.C. Collins, who will be a UMass Minuteman in the future. The senior going for his big hitter there on the ground, and another first down for Williamstown.
And Collins again with that burst of speed, takes one step back, keeps it himself, called his number all the way, and just beats Jakari Carter to the corner to pick up good yardage. Collins had 207 yards on the ground versus Rancocas Valley.
Career high rushing in that sectional final performance.
Pretty much Collins, the Collins and Inge show against Rancocas Valley.
And speaking of Inge, here he goes. His first handoff since rumbling all the way down for a long touchdown. He'll get it out to midfield, setting up second down for Williamstown, a team that has been known to put up points in bunches, 39.3 points a game in their 3 games in the South Group 5 sectional playoffs, outscoring their opponents in that sectional playoffs, Lou, 118-30. This is a team that scores and does not allow anything.
Williamstown winning that title, their second title, but their first since 2012.
Here's Collins. Jitterbugs his way down the field, maybe a yard shy of the first down marker needed. Needs to get it to the Sayreville 45-yard line, but the offensive line is gashing Sayreville up front, really opening up those holes for Collins and for Inge.
Braves were in the South Jersey final in 2015. They lost to Toms River North that year. The Mariners won it 14-7. But this program has had a good number of success. Last 2 years have struggled, but they're back on top this year.
3rd and 1. Sayreville trying to tie up Williamstown. We'll see where the spot is. Again, they needed to get it to the 45-yard line, and right now where the referees are standing, the officials would move the chains, and it should be enough for a Williamstown first down. They're going to say 4th and inches as they have the ball just outside that 45-yard line. Can Sayreville make a big stop here, get the ball back on turnover on downs?
The nose of the football just about touching the 45.
Be a quarterback keeper in the plunge forward by Collins, more than enough for a first down to keep this drive alive with just about 5:32 left to go here in the first quarter of play.
Well, the big push by the left side of that offensive line, and J.C. Collins just following the lead block there by Trevor Brown, the offensive tackle, 6'4 senior, 270 pounds.
On first down, here's the option to the near side. Once again, it's Inge in the open field. Good tackle from behind, though, by number 9. And that was Connor Holmes. Holmes, one of the outstanding defenders for this team, 99 tackles on the season for the safety coming into today's game, also with 2 blocked field goals this year for Sayreville's D.
Holmes, an outstanding player on both sides of the ball, being recruited primarily for defense by Army, Bucknell, and Monmouth getting some serious interest from the Black Knights up at West Point.
2nd down and 3, and Inge getting closer to another first down. Looks like he'll be dropped down at the 35. Might be 3rd and inches upcoming right now for Williamstown. Sustaining really most of their offense loose so far in this first quarter play, just primarily on the ground. 3rd and short. Collins with the handoff. Running behind his blocker to the near side, and should be enough for another first down for Williamstown. Good blocking outside in the edge for the Braves.
Wade Inge gave us the first down signal after he was tackled. He was confident he had picked it up.
Another sustained drive here for Williamstown. They got off to a red-hot start. Pitch play and the option from Collins to Inge. Inge went the distance. That's where we stand right now. 7-0 lead for number 7 Williamstown. 12-0 in the season. Here's the option for Collins. He'll keep it himself. And good contain there, and a tackle for a loss made on the play by number 27, Griffin Anthony.
Beautiful defensive play by Griffin Anthony, who was not fooled this time as J.C. Collins faked the pitch, and he stayed right on J.C. Collins. Right there, stayed home, had him all the way.
Loss of 3 on first down, 2nd down and 13 at the 35-yard line. There's Collins looking to throw. He'll loft it down that near sideline and out of bounds as he was trying to complete to his teammate, Wade Inge.
Good pressure by Kirksey getting over there. Also Griffin Anthony.
And a prime opportunity here for Sayreville to possibly get off the field. It's kind of no man's land right now for Williamstown. 3rd down and 13 at the 35-yard line, but if they could keep this a 3rd and maybe then 4th and long situation, it could bring out a punting unit for Williamstown. Doing their dirty work on the grounds as they've done all season long. Collins in the shotgun, Inge to the left side of him. And 3rd and 13, here's Collins getting pressured immediately. Forced to roll out of the pocket to the far side and drop down behind the line of scrimmage again. Absolute speed being used there to Sayreville's advantage, and the defense really make life hell for J.C. Collins.
Now you can see there Connor Holmes with that tremendous speed tracking down J.C. Collins. You can see why Holmes is being heavily recruited on the defensive side of the ball. He's got great quickness. Senior captain on this defensive unit. And one more time, watch Holmes. Look at the speed. Remember, he's chasing J.C. Collins, and he chased him down on the far sideline.
So the punting unit does come out for Williamstown. As Palazzo waiting to kick this one away at midfield. The flag flies as it looks like it was going to be a fake punt. Legal procedure, false start, the call against Williamstown.
Oh, and Frank Fusatola is absolutely furious on the Williamstown sideline.
Because that looked like that had all the potential, if that was a clean play, to go for a touchdown. The way that they had that play set up and had the blockers down that near side, Lou, that could have been another touchdown here in the first quarter.
You got to figure the Braves will just simply kick it away here and pin the Bombers back.
Getting this one away without any pressure. Fair catch called for at the 10-yard line, so Williamstown accomplishes what they were looking for, pinning Sayreville deep in its own end to start their 3rd offensive series of this first quarter. They trail Williamstown by a score of 7-0 with 3:03 left to go here in the first quarter of action. NJ.com's top 20 ranks the best teams in the state all season long. And once the games at MetLife are over, the final rankings will be revealed. Check back on Wednesday, December 5th, as NJ.com's top 20 will be expanded, ranking the top 50 teams in New Jersey for 2018. Visit NJ.com/HS Sports. First down and 10 now for Sayreville, back on offense at their own 10-yard line. Trying to find a little consistency on O here in this South Group 5 Bowl Championship. Once again, Williamstown making life very difficult so far, Lou, for Sayreville to find any running room.
Yeah, this Sayreville offense having a lot of difficulty running between the tackles. Williamstown with some good size up front.
Second down and 7 from the 13-yard line. Sayreville taking their time, looking over to the far side. Lining up in the backfield right now is Connor Holmes. Next to his quarterback, Mark Whitford. Holmes will motion out to the near side. Whitford will look his direction. And what about that closing speed? And the tackle in the open field made by number 7, Jonathan Collins, for Williamstown.
Collins, the senior, coming up from his right corner position. And again, read it beautifully. Had it all the way. No chance for Holmes to get anything going. One more time. Watch Collins explode. That's a beautiful open field tackle.
Collins, the 6'1", 175-pound senior defensive back, making that stop against Connor Holmes. And now 3rd down and 7 for Sayreville, deep in their own end again. Back to their 13-yard line. Whitford getting pressured. He'll roll it to the far side. Throws off the back foot, looking for the intended target, but it goes off the one hand and out of bounds for an incomplete pass. And once again, this Williamstown defense, as advertised in the early goings here in the first quarter, they'll force a punting situation here for Sayreville.
And Williamstown figures to get unbelievably good field position here. Probably it's Sayreville territory.
And Wade Inge is waiting back at the Sayreville 45-yard line for the kick. So a dangerous situation here. Inge already accounting for the lone touchdown of this game. A prime opportunity to have plenty of running room in front of them. Punting from their own end zone. Just stepping out, a low liner nearly blocked by Williamstown. Inge will elect to let it bounce, and that'll take a Sayreville bounce inside the 45. Continue to slowly roll and come to a stop directly at the 40, so it worked out, Lou, for Sayreville, but Williamstown just inches away from what could have been a devastating punt block right outside Sayreville's own goal line.
Special teams, a big part of the game for the Braves, and they put great pressure on that time. They still end up with very good field position just across the 40-yard line.
First down and 10 now for Williamstown at the Sayreville 41-yard line. 1:09 left to go. Here are the first quarter play from MetLife Stadium. These two teams contesting for the NJSIAA Rothman Orthopaedic South Group 5 Bowl Championship. Collins dives ahead forward, a couple of yards in the play. Coming in to make the tackle from behind was number 5, Connor Anthony. As we're under a minute left to go in this first quarter. Sayreville really hasn't been able to manufacture anything offensively so far against Williamstown. And the Braves have scored on their opening drive of the game, courtesy of a long touchdown run from their star tailback, Wade Inge. Here's their sensational quarterback, Collins, twisting and turning. Brought down at about the 45-yard line, so a 3rd down situation upcoming with under 30 seconds left in the first.
Impressive first period of play here for the Braves of Williamstown. And they feel like they're on sort of a mission here, coming all the way up to MetLife Stadium. They want to show North Jersey, which gets a lot of press, if you will, and a lot of attention for their high school football played in northern New Jersey. They're trying to show that, hey, down South Jersey, we can play some pretty good football too.
And they don't even have to run another play to end that first quarter. And it's going to be Williamstown, the number 7 team in the NJ.com top 20, taking a 7-0 lead over number 11 Sayreville. 7-0 after the first quarter of play. You're watching the 2018 NJSIAA Rothman Orthopaedics Football Championship here on NJ High School Sports Live, powered by Local Live.
You know, life isn't made for pain. Life is for living, for family, for basketball, for getting your hands dirty, For mornings on the river, for afternoons at the park, for art, for sport, for the hobby you just can't get enough of. Don't let joint, back, or orthopedic pain keep you from doing what you love. Turn to the orthopedic experts at Rothman Institute and get back to what matters, because this is living.
Welcome back under the lights here at MetLife Stadium, where after the first quarter of play, it's Williamstown on top of Sayreville by a score of 7-0 as we begin the second quarter. Dan Long, Lou Brogno, happy that you could join us high atop MetLife Stadium here as they contend for the South Group 5 Bowl Championship. Sayreville won the Central Group 5 sectional title. Williamstown remained unbeaten on the year, winning the South Group 5 sectional crown. Now Collins on third down and 6. Looks like he'll get it to midfield and will be 1 yard shy of the first down needed. Now it's going to be interesting with Coach Fusatola. Do you roll the dice here and lean on your power run game to get you that yard to keep this drive alive? Sayreville knows if they can make the stop, they'd be getting great field position potentially for their offense.
Well, Coach Fusatola very confident about his defensive unit. Will go for it on this fourth down play, needing just a yard.
Collins in the shotgun. Handoff is to Inge, and Inge will just dive ahead forward and get the necessary yardage to keep this drive alive for Williamstown.
Well, Inge didn't need much, but he didn't get much, but he didn't need much, I guess is what I was actually trying to say. He got just enough.
Good pressure in the interior line by Sayreville, just not enough to prevent Inge from getting and converting on that fourth down. First down and 10 for J.C. Collins. And this Williamstown offense scoring 32.1 points per game this year. Here's the jet sweep to the near side. Carter not fooled from his cornerback position.
Campbell, ball carrier.
As Campbell got the handoff and Jakari Carter broke free of his would-be blocker, was trying to stop him on the play, and that made it no gain on the play.
Well, two tremendous defensive players there, Connor Holmes and Jakari Carter, both coming up to make the play. Carter has done a tremendous job at corner this year. He had to replace a lockdown corner, Elijah Clark, from last year's team. Clark now at Temple playing for the Owls. So some big shoes to fill, and Carter's done a terrific job.
Second down and 10 now for Williamstown. Throwing off the back foot, lobbing that one up in traffic and knocked down by Connor Holmes. Good recovery speed there by Holmes of negating that would-be passing connection and setting up quickly a 3rd and 10.
So two big defensive plays in a row now for this Bomber defense. Now they've got Williamstown in a 3rd and long. Let's see how the Braves respond here.
And Lou, you know you're an active defensive player when Connor Holmes, his helmet looks completely white because of all the gray has been peeled off. 3rd down for Collins. Dropping it over to Inge to the near side. Sayreville knew that was coming and eventually pushed Inge out of bounds. Javis Rayside, number 8. The inside linebacker and the junior with 93 tackles on the year coming into this one, sensing that was developing, in 4th and 15 upcoming for Williamstown.
Excellent defensive sequence that time by the Bombers. 3 big plays in a row.
Jackson back for the Bombers to receive.
Now a chance to keep that momentum going here as they'll get the ball.
And Sayreville's desperately trying to start a drive that's not deep in their own offensive end, as it's been the case all throughout that first quarter.
You need a good return here by Anthony Jackson.
Williamstown gets the punt off. It's going to be short. Taken on a bounce and will carry him out of bounds to the near sideline. It will be the best starting field position of this game right now for the Sayreville offense. They'll take over 1st down and 10 from their own 27 with 9:46 left to go here in the second quarter, trailing Williamstown 7-0.
Well, Sayreville, a great program, qualified for 24 playoffs. They've had 5 undefeated seasons going back to 1941. That was their first undefeated campaign. This year they won their second title in 3 years. Three of the last 7 years they have claimed the championship in Central Jersey.
First time that we see Zuriel Wright get the handoff for Sayreville here this evening, the leading rusher on the season for the Bombers. Spun around, but not before he can get to the 30-yard line. Wright coming off an 81-yard rushing performance in the sectional final against North Brunswick. Over 800 yards on the ground, 8 touchdowns. Second down and 7 now for Sayreville as the bands play on here. The last game of a triple header, the first day of state championship bowl action here in New Jersey. And that's a great play by Connor Holmes. All the way out, just shy of the 45-yard line, down to the 43. For the first down here in the second quarter for Sayreville.
Holmes has a great knack of heading north-south quickly. He caught that pass, and you saw him immediately turn right up the field. Did not head for the sideline. Boom. There he goes, in between 3 defenders.
First down and 10 now for Sayreville, close to midfield at 43. Trying to bounce off the pile and does. It's right down the far sideline into Williamstown territory. One man to beat. He gets through him into the end zone. Touchdown, Sayreville. Zuriel Wright. A 57-yard touchdown run has pulled Sayreville to within a point of Williamstown with 8:41 left to go here in the second quarter.
Just a matter of time before the explosiveness of Sayreville surfaced. Too many outstanding skill players on this Bomber offense. For the most part, Williamstown had them bottled up, especially in that first quarter, but the Bombers finally strike.
We saw a long touchdown from Inge, and now we see the answer by Wright. And the extra point is no good, though. So Williamstown will maintain their advantage, but it's down to a single point with 8:41 left to go here in the second quarter of play from MetLife Stadium. It's Williamstown 7 and Sayreville 6.
And look at Wright. This is the big part of the run. He's able to stay in bounds right there. Tiptoes down the sideline and just gets that right foot inside the pylon for the touchdown. And that extra point miss in a game like this could be a big factor. We'll have to see if that is a deciding factor a little bit later on. Figure this to be a very close game, and now Williamstown has a 1-point lead.
Nick Maluski will kick it away for Sayreville. So after their defense stood tall, after it looked like J.C. Collins and company were threatening to go for a second touchdown in this first half, got the ball back to the offense, and that was the first time that we really saw Wright do damage, and he was the right touch there. One-point lead for Williamstown here in the South Group 5 Bowl Championship. Taken in about the 18-yard line, losing the balance and falling under his own accord was Williamstown. And it'll be a chance for the Braves to start off here on offense and trying to find an answer after they scored in that opening drive, Lou. But since then, Sayreville has kind of found an answer to shut down the running attempts of Inge and Collins.
The key is not to let those guys get to the outside, get to the corner where they can utilize their speed. Try to filter everything inside.
Here on first down, trying to bounce it from the near side to the far side of the field was Inge.
Inge, the ball carrier.
Ray side coming in to make the stop.
Brought down by Benedict Arthur.
Second down and 8 upcoming for Williamstown. The team that's coming off 56 points scored in their sectional final. 39.3 points a game on average in the sectional playoffs. And they've scored 30 or more points in 7 of their 12 games this season. Hand off again to Inge, and Inge upended.
We mentioned it's been a big explosive offensive season. It's been a tremendous season overall, obviously, at 12-0. And it's a great turnaround season for Williamstown. The last 2 years, they finished 3-7 and 5-5. The first time they finished 500 or less since 2004. So it's been a long time since they've had back-to-back seasons like that. And the players said it's been so rewarding this year to bounce back from those 2 years.
There's a jump ball situation, trying to loft it down the near side, but a little too far. As J.C. Collins was trying to connect with number 6, DeMonte Campbell, one of his favorite targets, and Sayreville produces a 3-and-out, a quick 3-and-out on defense, and they might get the best starting field position after this punt attempt from Williamstown. Fourth down and 7. They'll be punting from their own 28-yard line. Palazzo, the punter, standing back at his own 15. Palazzo will get this one away. He'll take a bounce at the 45 and a nice Williamstown roll. The ball continues to creep down past the 25-yard line and will finally be deadened down at the 22. So a great punt there by Palazzo, flips the field a bit. But Sayreville's offense that just struck for a long touchdown run, courtesy of their star tailback, Zuriel Wright, will check back onto the field and maybe in a position to take their first lead of this bowl championship game.
Take a look at Williamstown sideline there under head coach Frank Fusatola. It is 26th season at the helm of the Braves, 170 wins in those 26 years.
Trying to finish his season off 13-0. Not many teams can say they've done that. As that handoff goes up the middle for Sayreville. Once again, they're going to their power back in Kirksey. Kirksey, more of the ground and pounds. Coming into this one, 7 rushing touchdowns, 580 yards on the ground this season. Only second to Wright.
The other sideline for Sayreville, Chris Began, in his 11th season overall, his 4th at Sayreville. He's a Sayreville guy. Dan played for the Bombers, 1990 grad, linebacker, wrestler.
Kirksey again on second down. He'll jettison out a little further, making it a manageable third down opportunity for his side as we're coming across halfway gone by here in the second quarter of play. 5:55 remaining in the second. 7-6 lead for Williamstown. Third championship game of the day. First 2 were blowouts. This has definitely been the closest contest so far here at MetLife. Both teams contesting for the South Group 5 Bowl Championship. Third down and 5 on the slants. Completion and a first down to Jakari Carter. As Whitford had the time afforded to him, and nice bullet pass there to Carter for the first down.
Whitford, quick release, got it out there quickly, and he got it into Carter's hands in the open field, and Jakari Carter, very dangerous player out there.
Just under 500 receiving yards on the season coming into today's bowl game for Carter. 7 touchdowns. And off to Kirksey. And he'll be wrapped up on the play. Julian Gravener, number 33, once again making the stop inside. Since we're coming up on 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Williamstown will receive to begin the second half of play. Sayreville has never led in this one. They trailed early 7-0. They just scored in their last offensive series. They missed their extra point. Whitford getting pressure. Great trail block behind the play, giving him a little more time.
That was
pass is incomplete.
Sorry, Dan. That was a great block by the guard, Benedict Arthur. 6'2 senior, 240 pounds. He took out 2 Williamstown defenders.
And that gave Whitford the opportunity to throw on the run. It was incomplete. Taking a look again at that saving block. 2-for-1 special. It is Black Friday after all, so it's got to have those saving deals. Third down and 8 for Sayreville, throwing across the far side of the field, tipped off the hands and incomplete. Sayreville had an opportunity there as they were trying to get to Antoine Golson, number 6. Got a hand on it, but just couldn't bring it in for the first down.
Very dangerous throw by Whitford, though. That ball hung up in the air forever before it got to its intended receiver.
So after a couple of positive plays there for Sayreville in that drive, it will stall out 4th down and 8 for the Bombers. They'll be kicking away from their own 40.
Holmes in punt for the Bombers.
Doing the punting duties is number 9, Connor Holmes. Holmes will get this one away. Angles it over right in front of the Williamstown sideline. They'll take a Sayreville roll inside the 30, so a nice kick there. And that's where Williamstown will take over, 1st down and 10 at their own 29-yard line with 4:23 left to go. And this game has kind of crawled down to a defensive slugfest in the last couple of moments here, Lou, as both teams have been very effective of forcing the opponents into 3rd and longs and getting off the field in time.
Yeah, both defenses have certainly settled down. Early on, it was the offenses who had the early momentum here at MetLife Stadium. We kind of saw something similar to that in the other 2 games as well. The offense getting off to a good start. It took a while for the defense to kind of settle in.
How did Inge make a couple of those men miss, and he still found a way to the outside? Didn't get that many yards, if anything, but he just kept on stringing along that play, and Sayreville just ran stride for stride right with them.
Great pursuit by the Bombers, and as you said, they strung it out nicely. Just rode Inge right along the line of scrimmage.
Eventually, the tackle being credited to number 10, Anthony Jackson, from his cornerback spot. 2nd down and 9 after only the pickup of 1 by Inge on 1st down. Toss play to the near side. Inge trying to run to this near side, but he's going to be brought down for a tackle. Fumbled the ball, but the ball was ruled to be down, and Inge was already down on the play. So it's no scoop and score for Sayreville. But a concern right now for Williamstown is their star running back, Wade Inge, is hurt and laying on the field.
And he is a key player for Williamstown. Wade Inge, who has had a brilliant season. The senior playing his last game in a Braves uniform. And we certainly hope it is nothing serious at this point.
As again, as you saw there, was brought down and the ball came free after he had touched the turf, so it's no fumble on the play. So we'll take a timeout here as they attend to Inge on the field. You're watching the 2018 NJSIAA Rothman Orthopedics Football Championships on NJ High School Sports Live, powered by Local Live.
You know, life isn't made for pain. Life is for living, for family, for basketball, for getting your hands dirty, for mornings on the river, for afternoons at the park, for art, for sport, for the hobby you just can't get enough of. Don't let joint, back, or orthopedic pain keep you from doing what you love. Turn to the orthopedic experts at Rothman Institute and get back to what matters, because this is living.
A good sign there is a round of applause as Inge gets to his feet, but will be helped off the field to the near Williamstown sideline as his Braves team trying to hold on here, leading 7-6 with 3:26 left to go in the first half here at MetLife Stadium, the site of the 2018 NJSIAA Rothman Orthopedics Football Championships. 13 championships will be played here over the next 2 weeks, as this is the 3rd and final game this evening. Hope that you've been enjoying all the action as we've been enjoying it ourselves up top here. Dan Long, Lou Brogno. So after the injury timeout, it will be 3rd down and 10 for Williamstown from their own 29-yard line. And a whistle here and a stoppage as a timeout taken by Coach Frank Fustola. And Williamstown, their first timeout. So we'll stop the clock with 3:13 left to go and a big 3rd down facing the Braves.
And the training staff attending to Wade Inge on the sideline for Williamstown, and hopefully As we said, not a serious injury that he would be able to get back out there. You hate to see anyone get injured in their final game as a senior for the Braves. Inge has had such a spectacular season, spectacular career.
And getting back to also this part of the game, Sayreville, Lou, if they could force another stop here, and they'll once again get the ball back in prime territory to maybe score just before halftime. 3:13 left to go in the second. After the timeout, 3rd down and 10 for Williamstown. Pump fake, Collins looking to go across the field and nearly intercepted on the play. Connor Holmes getting a hand on it, as Holmes has been electric in that secondary, really erasing any opportunities down the field.
You won't see better coverage at the high school level than what you just saw by Connor Holmes. He was all over the Williamstown receiver, DeMonte Campbell. And Campbell was so impressed with it afterwards.
He was applauding him.
He looked at Holmes and said, "Great job." He applauded him.
It's great sportsmanship, and it just shows you what that means, as Williamstown will have to punt this one away. Fair catch called for by Sayreville, backing up. It'll be spotted right now at the 37-yard line. So more and more the defense for Sayreville, they've been under control ever since giving up that long touchdown run in the first offensive series to Williamstown and Wade Inge. They've forced the field to flip. But can they take over and get that advantage just before halftime? They have one touchdown in this first half, courtesy of their star running back in Zuriel Wright. But now they've flipped the field. The defense has done their job. What can Whitford and company do here with 2:57 left to go in the second quarter?
They certainly have plenty of time.
And all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, so they have more than enough time to drive the field.
Wright will be in at quarterback. Carter in motion to the far side. Will be a handoff to Wright. Wright will be brought down for a tackle.
And good defensive play for Williamstown. That was Brandon Perkins, who would not allow Wright to spin out of that tackle.
The middle linebacker, the junior, making the stop there. 2nd down and 10 for Sayreville. Coming up on 2:30 left to go here in the first half of play. An exciting first half, 7-6 lead for Williamstown. This extra point is the difference so far in this one. Holmes back into the game to the right side of Whitford. Carter again, the man in motion. Whitford being pressured immediately, breaks contain as he was about to be brought down for a sack and actually scrambles all the way back to the 35-yard line. So officially he'll only lose about 2 yards on that play, but Lou, it looked like he was destined to be dropped all the way back at around the 25-yard line and avoided that would-be sack.
And you know, a lot of times when you mention an offensive lineman's name, it's because they're holding. But how about Benedict Arthur, the outstanding guard? You got to mention him for not holding there. There was an opportunity to grab the defender coming by, and he kind of pulled his arms back to make sure he did not hold.
He's made 2 great plays here in the first half for Sayreville. Sayreville facing a 3rd and 12 from their own 35. Whitford rolling the pocket to the far side. Won't be able to get free this time. And brought down in the backfield for a sack. Sack of the play by Brandon Perkins, who made a stop earlier on in this series, now makes the sack, and Williamstown will use one of their 2 left timeouts, stopping the clock with 1:21 remaining in the half and giving their offense a chance here at good field position.
That time Williamstown brought the blitz, and Perkins came in, made the play. No chance for Mark Whitford to get out of that one.
Number 33, Julian Gravener, also combining in with Perkins to make that sack in the backfield. Now 4th down and 19 for Sayreville. They're going to be kicking from their own 28-yard line. And the large contingent of Williamstown fans in blue right underneath us at MetLife Stadium starting to get loud and urging their team on.
They're chanting Wade Inge, because he got up off the trainer's table and is walking up and down the sideline.
Almost a Rudy-esque type of cheer here Coming up, he's normally the punt returner. He will not be fielding this punt for Williamstown. But if they could get Wade Inge back in the fold, that would be a huge return for this Williamstown side. Fair catch called for on the punt from Connor Holmes. With first down and 10 for Williamstown, as they'll be taking over on this possession, maybe the final possession of this first half upcoming from their own 41-yard line.
Let's see how the Braves play it here with 1:14 remaining. They have only one timeout left, and Inge is not out there, of course. He's on the sideline, so that's one of their big, dangerous weapons. Be interesting to see if they try to attack or just head into the locker room with that 1-point lead.
Fake handoff, it's instead going to be Collins, and Collins is leveled on the play. Aversely stood up and finished off. Doing the finishing off was Griffin Anthony, number 27. And initially hit on the play by Kirksey, number 4.
That's the dangerous part of running your quarterback. You don't want to see your quarterback hit by the likes of Kirksey going in there to blast him.
45 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Second down and 7 as Williamstown getting closer to midfield at the 44. Haven't really been able to complete any long balls here today against the Sayreville defense. And now a flag thrown by our official. And it's going to be a snap infraction against Williamstown, penalizing the Braves 5 yards with 32 seconds left to go here in the second quarter.
And now with second down and 12, you might want to think about just kind of getting out of here in this first half if you're Williamstown. You do have a 1-point lead.
And Williamstown will be receiving to begin the second half of play. Now it's going to be a jet sweep taken to the far side of the field. Sayreville making the stop after the handoff was to Monte Campbell. Connor Anthony making the stop. Number 5, the senior outside linebacker with 75 tackles coming into tonight's game. And that will be the end of the first half of play here at MetLife Stadium, and a defensive slugfest ensuing here for the NJSIAA Rothman Orthopaedic South Group 5 Bowl Championship, as Williamstown, ranked number 7 in the NJ.com Top 20, will take a 1-point lead over number 11 Sayreville, 7-6 here at halftime. So stick around for much more action in all this exciting football coverage, courtesy of NJ High School Sports Live, powered by Local Live.
You know, life isn't made for pain. Life is for living, for family, for basketball, for getting your hands dirty, for mornings on the river, for afternoons at the park, for art, for sport, for the hobby you just can't get enough of. Don't let joint, back, or orthopedic pain keep you from doing what you love. Turn to the orthopedic experts at Rothman Institute and get back to what matters, because this is living. You know, life isn't made for pain. Life is for living, for family, for basketball, for getting your hands dirty, for mornings on the river, for afternoons at the park, for art, for sport, for the hobby you just can't get enough of. Don't let joint, back, or orthopedic pain keep you from doing what you love. Turn to the orthopedic experts at Rothman Institute and get back to what matters, because this is living.
Welcome back to MetLife Stadium, where we're moments away from the start of the second half of our final championship game of the first day of these championship bowl games here at MetLife Stadium, as Williamstown on top of Sayreville by a score of 7-6 here in the NJSIAA Rothman Orthopaedic South Group 5 bowl game. Some of the highlights from that first half of play and big-time rushing plays from big-time runners.
Yeah, Wade Inge gets a opening and takes it all the way to the end zone, showing that excellent speed, breaking into the open field. A lot for the Braves fans to cheer about early on as they struck first on their opening drive. And J.C. Collins with a nice play here, gets to the corner, has another big gainer for Williamstown. Sayreville trying to answer. Look at this defensive play, beautifully done. Coming up to make the play was J.C. Collins. Collins, an outstanding two-way player, but Sayreville returns the favor with some good defensive play there from the defensive backfield. The Bombers getting a good play there from Javis Rayside. Connor Holmes with a beautiful move here, splits three defenders, picks up a key first down for the Bombers. And then it was Zuriel Wright who hits the corner, and watch him tightrope down the sidelines here and just gets inside the pylon to score the touchdown. The Bombers missed the extra point, and Williamstown kept the lead. They're up by the score of 7-6. More outstanding play here defensively for the Bombers as Inge is brought down. Again, another outstanding play by Javis Rayside. And Williamstown with a good pass rush there, sacking Mark Whitford behind the line of scrimmage.
That's where we stand, Lou. A defensive struggle in that first half, and Sayreville will kick off to begin the second half of play for Williamstown. We'll see if either team can really get things more cohesion and more consistency going on their offensive play calls. That missed extra point looming large right now, as that explains where we stand with a 1-point advantage for Williamstown. The Braves will take in the opening kickoff of this second half, and they'll start things off first down and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
And a good sign for Williamstown fans as Wade Inge is back out there on the field for the Braves.
As he comes back onto the field, as you mentioned, he missed the remainder of that first half after sustaining that injury. And he's a huge focal point of this team's offense. 20 total touchdowns on the season for Inge, who's committed to play collegiately at Delaware State. Collins on first down, though. Quarterback keeper himself out past the 40. And the best run of the night for number 7, J.C. Collins. Will be playing at UMass in the future. We'll see if he starts to percolate here in the second half of play.
Collins hits that hole with explosive force. Big play for Collins, and a good start for the Braves.
Williamstown moving the ball out to their 42-yard line, first down and 10. And a stop and a whistles here, as I think they had just get things sorted out with the chain gang on the far sideline.
Got a little tangled up there on the far sideline.
Again, look back at Collins' run here to jumpstart this second half for Williamstown. The Braves only scoring 7 points, but still in the lead, 7-6. First down and 10 at the 42. Collins again. Saw the initial defense coming at him, bounced away, and then also got free from that second tackle attempt. And found his way into a couple of positive yards that really didn't look like that was going to be developing that way for the QB.
Yeah, Collins definitely turning something out of nothing. A tremendous play by Collins to get away from the initial defender.
as he'll throw his hand warmer off to the near side after that was ripped off his body.
See a little zip to this offense here on this initial drive.
2nd down and 8. Williamstown scored in their first drive of the night back in the first quarter. Nothing since. So once again, Collins is wrapped up with the play. Leading him initially was number 67, Jorge Leva, a 5'8", 210-pound senior defensive end.
See J.C. Collins, though, running with authority here in this early part of the third quarter. Putting his head down, driving forward.
Haven't seen any rushing attempts yet for Inge, despite being back on the field. They haven't handed it off to number 5 in white. Big moment in this game, even though it's the first series of the second half. 3rd down and 6, just shy of midfield for Williamstown.
3rd and 6.
Motion man to the top is Highsmith Jr. And flag flies before that play can be run. It'll be 5-yard penalty against Williamstown. Motion call against the Braves makes this from a 3rd and 6 to a 3rd and 11.
Let's see if the Braves can overcome that. Those kinds of penalties are drive killers. Williamstown had been moving the ball nicely. Very consistent offensive performance here at the outset of the third quarter. But now, behind the chains at 3rd and 11.
2 wide receivers to the top of your screen. Highsmith Jr. lined up to the bottom of your screen. Collins in the shotgun. Fake handoff. He'll roll the pocket to the near side. Get past the first 2 men. Makes the next man miss as well. And it'll be marked out of bounds back at around the 47-yard line. And that will be enough for a first down on a big 3rd down and 11. It looks like a broken play on that play for J.C. Collins, Lou, but managed to do just enough to get the first down.
Yeah, Collins, nice read here. Looks like he wanted to throw the football, keeps it, and then stepped out right there at the 47. Had to get to the 48 to pick up the first down.
First down and 10 for Williamstown, now in Sayreville territory, and this has become the J.C. Collins show. We were kind of talking at halftime. We're off the broadcast. Would we see more of Collins here in the second half after he didn't do that much in the first half for Williamstown? Well, that answer was made abundantly clear in this opening drive. 9-yard pickup there for Collins on first down. 2nd down and 1 at the Sayreville 38.
It has been his number called on just about every play. And as you said, Dan, no handoffs yet to Wade Inge.
2nd and 1.
Inge is lined up to the left side of Collins. Here's Inge with his first carry since coming back into the game. He'll try to bust it to the near side. The clock will continue to run with the spot. We'll see if it's going to be enough for a first down. The referee taking a look, and he'll motion for the first down. Williamstown continues to manufacture first downs on this initial drive to start the second half, trying to extend that 1-point lead.
So Inge picks up that first down. Took quite a shot from Jackson on the near sideline, but bounced right back up. So he appears to be okay after suffering that injury in the first half.
Just keeping this ball on the ground. Here in this drive, nothing really through the air. Collins running to the right side. He dropped down. There's another tackle in the play by Javis Rayside.
Very solid, methodical drive here by the Braves, as they have used well over 4 minutes now in this opening drive.
And this is the type of statement drive that, if you're Williamstown, you want it. Coming right out of the locker room, it's a 1-point game, you're undefeated. You want to run the ball down the throat of Sayreville and regain that momentum and that confidence that you administered in the get-go of the first quarter. 2nd and 4 for Williamstown. Handoff to the right side, and that time gaining nothing.
Anthony Jackson with another outstanding defensive play for the Bombers.
3rd
down, starting from the 30-yard line now. 3rd down and 3. Can Sayreville find a way to make a stop here and force Williamstown maybe into considering either going for it, or it's close enough that I don't know if you'd necessarily want to punt it here. Might be 4-down territory for Williamstown based on how their defense has been playing. Inge will split out to the slot left. On 3rd and short, it's Collins running behind his right side. And it looks like he will be shy of the 1st down marker. 4th down and short upcoming for Williamstown. With under 6.5 minutes left to go here in the 3rd quarter, all this possession and this clock has been run down by Williamstown.
They've had the ball for nearly half of this 3rd quarter. And now a big play, though. 4th down, trying to keep this drive going.
The way that this drive has been run, you'd have to think that this ball is going to stay in the hands of Collins.
And the crowd on its feet on both sides of MetLife Stadium.
The loudest that we've heard it here today after the first 2 games were really blowouts. Here's Collins with a keeper to the right side, and Sayreville meets him. And making the stop in the play for Sayreville is Antoine Golson.
Golson, from his strong safety position, a captain on this defense, comes up with a big play for the Bombers. And they thwart the Braves' drive, a good drive, which took up over 6 minutes off the clock. And here's that play again. And Golson fighting off some blocks. And he was there to meet J.C. Collins.
So Collins and Williamstown denied trying to convert on 4th down and short. They converted a couple times on that drive on 3rd down, including 3rd and 11. But no points put on the board. Still remains a 7-6 advantage for Williamstown. Now Sayreville with the first time with the ball in offense here in the 2nd half. The handoff is going to be to Connor Holmes.
Great matchup here. Williamstown 12-0, number 7 in the latest poll. Sayreville coming in at number 11. The Bombers have lost just once. That loss was to their great rivals, Piscataway, one of the great high school football rivalries in New Jersey. A rivalry that is tied through 34 games at 17 apiece.
Whitford setting up the screen pass with the pressure in his face. Gets it off in time and a 1st down for Sayreville. Quickly connecting with number 9, Connor Holmes.
And a good call there by the Bombers, getting Connor Holmes in the open field, utilizing his quickness and his outstanding speed. Whitford just dumps it out, and Holmes blasts up ahead.
Good start to this 2nd half right now offensively for Sayreville. Under 5 minutes left to go after a long, time-consuming drive for Williamstown. Here's Whitford, brought down in the backfield for a big sack on the play. And once again, it's Brandon Perkins, who's been an exceptional defensive force for the Braves here this evening.
Perkins, only a junior, and he has been an outstanding contributor on the defensive side of the football here tonight for Williamstown.
A big loss on that play. 11-yard loss on the sack, setting up 2nd down and 21. Just as we were saying, Lou, that looked like Sayreville had a little consistency and a little momentum on their offensive side. Then that big defensive play by Williamstown sets them further back, 2nd and 21 from their own 34.
And that's just a gigantic play for the Williamstown defense.
Screen pass to the far side, and Williamstown flying to the ball, but maneuvering out of 2 would-be defenders. They're tackling grasp. Nice play on that one by number 10, Anthony Jackson. But still, it's going to be 3rd and long, 3rd and 19 for Sayreville. 2-yard pickup on the screen pass. Williamstown raced out to a 7-0 lead. Sayreville scored a touchdown in the 2nd quarter, but missed the extra point. That's why we stand currently at 7-6 Williamstown. Trying to finish their season 13-0. Now pass over to right to the near side. Good job of maintaining his balance after receiving the pass, but minimal yards picked up. And that sack by Perkins looms large. Really stalled that drive out for Sayreville here, their first offensive possession of the 2nd half. And Williamstown once again will force the Bombers to punt it away.
And an excellent open field tackle that time by Justin Boateng, the senior outside linebacker. Again, a good read. He comes up to make the play.
Kyle Holon will punt it away, standing at his own 25-yard line. He alternates the duties sometimes with Connor Holmes. He'll take a bounce and actually bounce backwards. The ball will come to a rest at the Williamstown 35-yard line with 2:33 left to go here in the third quarter of play. It's still Williamstown on top of Sayreville by a score of 7-6. NJ.com's top 20 ranks the best teams in the state all season long, and once the games at MetLife are over, the final rankings will be revealed. Check back on Wednesday, December 5th, as NJ.com's top 20 will be expanded, ranking the top 50 teams in New Jersey for 2018. Visit NJ.com/HS Sports. And today's broadcast is presented by Rothman Orthopedics, the official orthopedic partner of the NJSIAA and the 2018 Football Championships. First down and 10. Collins looking to pass and has a man on the slant pattern. And enough for a first down, kind of caught Sayreville by surprise there, it looked like, Lou, as they've been primarily running the ball here this evening.
Yeah, and Collins took that one step back and gave the look as if he was going to run it again. Just that one quick step back and then fired a bullet on the slant pattern.
Williamstown approaching midfield yet again on an offensive drive. They had a long drive to begin this third quarter, but it ended on a turnover on downs. Now Collins running it with it to the near side, and no running room for them here. As that time initially making the stop, and the tie-up was Kirksey. He's got a piece of the jersey of Collins and left him for the rest of his teammates to clean up on the play.
Yeah, James Boreski coming in to finish up. Defensive end, a junior.
A loss of 4 on that first down scramble by Collins to the near side. Second down and 14 now for Williamstown, as we're coming up on 90 seconds remaining here in the third quarter of play. Who will win the South Group 5 Bowl Championship here tonight? Inge, stacked up, comes free, breaks free to the near side, tries to put the stiff arm down. Could not get past that last man. It was number 5, Connor Anthony, eventually pushed him out of bounds, but once again, that was Barry Sanders-esque, that he was bouncing. He disappeared from the vicinity in the backfield and then found a way to bounce over to the near side.
Outstanding play, though, by Connor Anthony, the outside linebacker, to stay with him and ride him out of bounds. You see it one more time. Inge able to bounce out, but Connor Anthony showing some good speed from that linebacker position, able to track him down.
Third down and 15. Here's an end around handoff, broken tackle. Williamstown looking for some running room down that near side, getting it past midfield and into Sayreville territory. And that might make this an interesting decision right now, as it's not enough for a first down for Williamstown. But if you're Coach Fusatola, do you think about going for it here? And it looks like he wants to play field position, bring his punting unit back on, and hopefully, just as he's been doing all game long, Chris Palazza can pin Sayreville deep in their own end.
And Dan, I think this is the right decision. The Braves defense has been so stellar all game long. Pin the Bombers back and make them drive the field.
Now, we did see earlier, Lou, that Williamstown looked like they wanted to run a fake punt, and it was a motion call. That's always got to be in the back of Sayreville's mind here this evening. And there it is, just as we alluded to. Williamstown lunging forward, the ball popped free and went out of bounds, and right now the way that Williamstown is celebrating on that sideline, that fake punt worked to perfection.
Well, the ball was fumbled out of bounds, but after they had picked up first down yardage. They've got the first down right there, and then the ball goes flying out of bounds. So they do go to the fake punt. They do pick up the first down. That's another big play by the Braves.
Aggressive play call there for Williamstown. Gives the Braves first down deeper in Sayreville's end. 1st and 10 at the Sayreville 41. Collins setting up the screen pass and overshoots Inge. Oh, frustration setting in there as Inge was set up with 2 blockers down the field in front of him, and he still might be running if that pass was completed.
And Sayreville was not ready defensively. They were a player short. They had a player running onto the field as the ball was snapped. You can see that. There comes the player, and so they're out of position. And that play might have gone for a whole lot of yardage.
This opportunity there for Williamstown. 2nd down and 10 from the 41. Collins to the right side. Gets it down to the 35-yard line. Where it'll be spun down on the play by Griffin Anthony. And a 3rd down upcoming for Williamstown that have really milked the majority of this clock in this 3rd quarter, Lou, and made this a shortened game. So we're coming up already on just over 30 seconds left to go in the 3rd, and still a 7-6 lead that Williamstown has enjoyed courtesy of the missed extra point. 3rd and 4. Collins knocked down right away. He'll be stopped again at the 35-yard line. It's going to be 4th down upcoming.
And Connor Anthony with another outstanding defensive play for the Bombers. Seems like Sayreville always has athletic, active linebackers. And Connor Anthony in that long line of outstanding players. Like Brandon Hoyt, who played in Notre Dame. So many great linebackers that have been in the middle for Sayreville.
So that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. A very quick 3rd quarter play as Williamstown trying to hold on here. They lead Sayreville by a score of 7-6. You're watching the 2018 NJSIAA Rothman Orthopedic Football Championships here on NJ High School Sports Live, powered by Local Live.
You know, life isn't made for pain. Life is for living, for family, for basketball, for getting your hands dirty, for mornings on the river, for afternoons at the park, for art, for sport, for the hobby you just can't get enough of. Don't let joint, back, or orthopedic pain keep you from doing what you love. Turn to the orthopedic experts at Rothman Institute and get back to what matters, because this is living.
Welcome back to MetLife Stadium, where we have a barn burner here for the South Group 5 Bowl Championship. Williamstown leading Sayreville 7-6 as we head to the 4th quarter. And a big situation presenting itself. 4th down and 4 for Williamstown at the Sayreville 35-yard line. Can Sayreville once again make a defensive stop here? Get the ball back to their offense, only down by 1. Williamstown has dominated time of possession here in the 2nd half. Low snap, botched play, ball loose, and it doesn't matter. Even if Sayreville didn't fall on it, and they do. A fumble recovery for Sayreville. Gives the ball back to the Bombers. It would have been a turnover on downs if the ball wasn't collected by Connor Anthony. And Lou, it looked like that play was doomed from the get-go, as it was a snap that could not be handled initially by J.C. Collins.
The Bombers come up with a big play defensively on 4th down, and now have a shortened field as they'll take over at the 40-yard line. Yeah, just a botched play right there. Never got the handoff to Inge, did J.C. Collins. Let's see if Sayreville can take advantage.
Now Whitford and his offense back onto the field. Only the 2nd time here in the 2nd half, and Whitford doing a great job of running down the field, spinning around some tackles, and getting it down to midfield. That'll be enough, should be, for a 1st down for Sayreville. Whitford really not known for his running exploits this season. 71 carries for 93 yards and 4 touchdowns on the season.
Look at the Sayreville players getting the Sayreville fans pumped up for this drive. A lot of emotion, a great football town, Sayreville. They love their Bombers.
1st down and 10 for Sayreville, now at midfield. 11:30 left to go in the 4th quarter. Quick hitter across the middle of the field, just a little too high. Looking in the seam for Jakari Carter. That pass a little airmailed.
Getting back to Sayreville, Dan, great tradition there for the Bombers. When you go to a Friday night football game in Sayreville, it's hard to find a seat in the bleachers. The place is packed. They really come out and really cheer on their Bombers. Sayreville War Memorial High School, the home of John Bon Jovi.
One of the kings of New Jersey.
1980 grad.
Another pass, and the Bombers get another 1st down. They'll get it past the 40-yard line, deeper into Williamstown territory. And now the Sayreville Bombers are moving and grooving offensively, trying to get in position for what could be their first lead of the evening.
And this is gut check time for the Williamstown defense. They've got to dig in here as Sayreville seems to have gathered the momentum here in the fourth quarter.
Now a handoff is to Connor Holmes. Holmes breaking through to the right side. Stopped on the play by Aaron Lewis Jr., number 71, the 6'6", 235-pound junior defensive lineman, who's drawing plenty of attention in the recruiting circles.
By the way, Sayreville, of course, is thinking touchdown, but if they get close enough, they do have a capable kicker in Nick Maluski.
Carter, the man in motion at the top of your screen on 2nd down and 8. Screen pass to the near side, and once again making another stop is big Aaron Lewis, number 71.
He's only a junior, Aaron Lewis. You mentioned the interest he has drawn from Division I schools. There's the quickness and the size on that defensive line for the Braves.
So now 3rd down and 6. We saw Sayreville have their defensive answer on 3rd and 4th down in that last series for Williamstown. Can Williamstown stand tall and D? Now it's a handoff to Holmes on 3rd down. That'll make it closer, but it will be shy of the 1st down. So it's going to be 4th down opportunity here for Sayreville as the clock ticks down to 9:50 left to go here in the 4th quarter. That was almost a play call to set up 4th down. I'll just try to go for the 1st down on 3rd down.
Well, huge play here, and MetLife Stadium comes alive.
4th down and 2 for Sayreville at the Williamstown 31-yard line. Right back in at tailback behind the quarterback Whitford, who had a long run earlier on in this drive. Fake handoff, throw to the near side, knocked down, back into the hands of the quarterback, and the quarterback rolling down to the far side. Did they lose the ball there? And they did! What a crazy carom! And a couple of moments there, it looked like it could have been initially an interception for Williamstown, then maybe a 1st down pickup for Sayreville, but it ends as a turnover on the play.
What a turn of events as Sayreville had an opportunity to pick up the 1st down in a very unusual way. The ball is knocked back to Whitford. He grabs it, takes off. As he's hit, he fumbles, and the ball is recovered. He would have had enough for the 1st down, I believe, had he not fumbled.
Again, a deflected pass. He caught his own deflection. Looked like he was going to get the spot again, as we see here. Crazy couple of moments.
So a 2nd down play.
So after that fumble, it's 2nd down and 6, and the pitch to Inge to the outside, and Inge really not picking anything as he goes out of bounds, loses a couple yards on that one, and now it's going to be quickly 3rd down facing Williamstown. They got the defensive stop they needed, but Sayreville might force a 3-and-out quickly here.
Yeah, Kirksey and Golson riding along the line of scrimmage, just forcing Inge to go out of bounds.
Stops the clock, too, to the delight of Sayreville. 8:40 left to go here in regulation. 7-6 the lead for Williamstown. 3rd down and 9 for Williamstown at their own 30-yard line. The Braves a perfect 12-0 on the season, trying to cap off the year 13-0 and win the first ever North Group 5 Bowl championship. Collins lofting this one, jump ball to the near side, almost a one-handed catch. It goes for an interception by Carter. Carter takes it away. Still with it, running to the near side. And a huge turnover forced by Sayreville after Williamstown had just turned over Sayreville moments ago.
A spectacular interception by Jakari Carter. His 4th pick of the year. The 10th interception of the season for the Bombers. Watch this play by Carter. He takes it away with one hand. Jakari Carter.
Now, this was a fun game to begin with, Lou, but now in the last couple of moments, this game has risen to a different level based on the defensive plays. Turnovers for both teams here in the last 2 offensive series. gives the ball back to Sayreville. First down and 10, now at their own 37-yard line with 8:23 remaining. Handoff is to Wright. Wright is the only man who has found the end zone this evening for a Sayreville side that averages just under 26 points a game this season.
Time is not nearly a factor yet. 8 minutes remaining, and both teams have their full complement of timeouts remaining.
Second down and 7 after the 3-yard pickup by Wright on first down. He'll again be the setback. Trips wide receivers to the top of your screen for Whitford. A handoff again to Wright, and this time shooting the gap and making the run blitz a success was Williamstown. As it looks like it was Gravener, number 33. He and Perkins have been exceptional in their linebacking unit here today. Third down and 6 now for Sayreville at their own 41.
Tough sledding between the tackles there against that front three of Williamstown.
Again, this is a Braves defensive unit, fans, that on average only allow 6.6 points a game for all their opponents. They've held 10 of their 12 opponents this season under 10 points. More of the same here tonight against Sayreville. Across the middle, completion for a first down and more, still on his feet before being dragged down inside the 30. It's the capable number 9, Connor Holmes, with a big third down conversion.
And another great throw by Whitford, who stepped up and fired a laser over the middle. Whitford showing those good hands, picked it out of the air. And there's the play, good throw by Whitford.
First down and 10 now for Sayreville, down to the Williamstown 28-yard line. And first down, nothing going there for Wright. A pickup of 1 on the play, second down and 9 as we're approaching 6.5 minutes left to go in this exciting conclusion to our triple-header on the first championship day here at MetLife Stadium. You're watching the NJSIAA Rothman Orthopedics Football Championships on NJ High School Sports Live, powered by Local Live. Shakari Carter with the jet sweep to the far side. The wide receiver putting his head down and lunging forward, gets it all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Tough running by Carter. He knew he was going to get hit hard by Aaron Lewis, who was chasing him down from behind. Still put his head down and just barreled ahead to pick up as much yardage as he could.
Third down and short upcoming now for Sayreville. 3rd and 2 to be exact at the Williamstown 20-yard line. Sayreville has never led in this game. They trail 7-6. Carter in motion to the near side. Sayreville and Mark Whitford looking over to their far sideline for the play call. Handoff is to Wright to the left side of his line. And it looks like he'll be shy of the first down, maybe gets it out to the 20. They'll officially mark it at the 19, and it will be 4th down and 1 upcoming. Lou, here's where Williamstown has always seemingly found an answer defensively to make the stop. They have another one in store here as their fans rise to their feet.
This Williamstown team coming in undefeated, 12-0 out of the massive 93-team West Jersey Football League. 9 wins during the regular season, then winning 3 more in the playoffs.
A stoppage here as it looks like it's going to be a timeout taken. And the timeout will be taken by Williamstown, their first charge timeout of the second half. And this is all the drama that we've been waiting for. If you're just joining us, fans, the first 2 games of the day, lopsided victories for teams just nearby. Rutherford easily taking care of business in the North Group 2 Championship. And then Hasbrook Heights, the lone team to defeat Rutherford this season. They capped off a perfect 12-0 season, winning the North Group 1 Bowl Championship. And here, Lou, in the South Group 5 Bowl game, it's been a story of 2 defenses that have stood tall, limited the offensive outputs to just scores in the first half. And this second half, Sayreville has had their opportunities. Can they make it when it matters most here? 4th and 1 staring them in the face.
Well, fans now might be saying, well, it's 4th and 1 and the football's at the 19-yard line. Why not try a field goal? Well, from here, it would be a 36-yard field goal, and remember, you're playing at MetLife Stadium where the goalposts are more narrow than high school goalposts and high school kickers are used to. So it would be a very difficult field goal from this point in the field. So this is the right decision by the Bombers here on 4th and 1.
Will it be a quarterback keeper? Will it be a handoff to maybe Holmes, who's been clutch here tonight? He's lining up to the edge, almost in the slot to the right. And the power back, Kirksey, into the game, will stand to the right side of Whitford in the shotgun look. 4th and 1. Kirksey will get the handoff, dive ahead forward. We'll see where this spot is as they're running up. They're marking it right now at the 18, which is where they would need to go for the first down.
The last lunge might have picked up the first down. He was initially hit short, and then that last lunge, Kirksey diving ahead.
This is going to be a close one as they bring the chains out, as we'll try to take a look. Is it enough for a first down? And it is for Sayreville. First down, Bombers. Just getting half of the football over was Savon Kirksey. And the senior powers his way through, and the drive stays alive for the Bombers with 4:46 left to go here in regulation. First down and 10 for Sayreville at the Williamstown 18-yard line.
Gigantic play by Kirksey. Again, looked like he was stopped short, but that last lunge picks up a big first down.
Now the handoff is to Holmes on the jet sweep to the near side. Tripped up in the backfield by Brandon Perkins, number 32.
Sayreville has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Williamstown with 2 left.
Other than the pass in the seam to Holmes, really Sayreville has just been keeping the ball on the ground here in this offensive series. You'd think that would be more of the same?
I would think so, but they do have one-on-one coverage to the left side. Let's see if they look that way.
Holmes is in the slot to the left. Across the middle and deflected on the play. Maybe getting a hand on it was Brandon Perkins. That's a very dangerous pass in close quarters for Whitford and Sayreville.
And Whitford is lucky to get that back, and he knew it after he threw it. You might have seen him. He put his hands up almost to his head like, oh no, what did I do there? He tried to squeeze it in, but man, that is one tough squeeze.
3rd down and 9 now in the blink of an eye after converting on that 4th and 1. Another 3rd and 9 situation facing Sayreville. We'll see if they're going to be trying to just get a couple of yards back rather than just trying to go to move the downs here. Kirksey to the left side. Carter in motion to that left side. It will be a handoff to the power back. The ball is loose, and the fumble jumped on by Williamstown. Another huge defensive play deep in their own end by the Braves. And Williamstown forces another turnover for Sayreville. And they'll take over with 3:50 left to go here in the 4th quarter. Still maintaining their slim 1-point advantage at 7-6.
Well, obviously a gigantic turnover, as Sayreville would have at least had an opportunity to try to kick a field goal to take the lead. Here's the play again in traffic, just at the last second, stripped out. And a huge play.
And it looked like the man on the spot to force that fumble was number 71, Aaron Lewis Jr. Forced the fumble from behind. First down and 10.
Division I prospect at defensive end comes up with a D1 type play.
Williamstown with the ball at their own 5-yard line. Here comes Collins down the near side, and he'll eventually scramble out of bounds, but not before he'll get it out to the 11-yard line. Nice pickup there on first down. Now again, Lou, you have Sayreville. They have all 3 of their timeouts remaining here. 3:43 left to go, but time is certainly of the essence. They'd love to force maybe a 3-and-out, get the ball back in a position with a shorter field to maybe get that go-ahead score.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why Collins right there, you don't want to go out of bounds. You have the lead. You have the 1-point lead. You want to stay in bounds and make Sayreville use their timeouts.
Inge will line up to the right side of Collins here on 2nd down and 4 from the 11. It will be Collins again, burrowing head forward. He's been the main man in the running game here in the second half since Inge sustained that injury in the second quarter. limited touches for number 5, who accounted for the lone touchdown here tonight for the undefeated Williamstown Braves, ranked number 7 in the NJ.com top 20.
It seems like we're constantly saying this big play, but this is a big play. 3rd down and 2. And if Sayreville can stop Williamstown, they could force the Braves to punt from near their goal line.
Collins getting a block from Inge, but not enough, and Sayreville will once again stand tall defensively and force what would be expected to be a 3-and-out. Wouldn't think that Coach Wistola will go for it here in this situation, especially because it looks like Collins lost yardage on that play, and quickly with that tackle for a loss, Sayreville will call a timeout, use their first charge timeout of this second half, stopping the clock with 2:57 left to go.
Javis Rayside leading the defensive charge for the Bombers. He's the one that got the penetration to make the play. So now, exactly what Sayreville wanted, Williamstown will have to punt from near their own goal line, and the Bombers should get the ball back at least at midfield.
So despite picking up 6 yards in that first down play, the critical play was that Collins went out of bounds. That actually stopped the clock, preserved a little more time, and then back-to-back stops for the Sayreville defense gives their special teams a chance here to maybe make a play as well. Do you send the full-on punt block here, or do you want to avoid maybe roughing a kicker call? It'll be interesting to see with Sayreville, as Williamstown will be punting from their own end zone. How aggressive does this punt block unit come onto the field? Sayreville waiting at the Williamstown 41-yard line for the return.
That's Anthony Jackson back there for the Bombers.
Here's the punt, and almost blocked in front. The fair catch called for. How did Sayreville miss that? They were so close right in front. And Palazzo got it away in time, but it is a very short field upcoming here, Lou, for Sayreville. And we turned it over the last 2 offensive possessions. Let's take a look again at that punt.
Well, 2 keys for Sayreville. Number 1, how did they miss the punt? But secondly, how did they miss the kicker? And that is huge, because that could have been a roughing the kicker penalty, but they did a great job to evade the kicker. And now they start at the 32-yard line, still with 2 timeouts remaining.
Had a fumble 2 possessions ago, and then most recently a fumble in their last possession. Here's a quick hitter across and intercepted! The pass was too high for Holmes. And a 3rd straight turnover forced by Williamstown. Oh, a tragic couple of events there, as Whitford was trying to bang slant pattern pass to his leading target in Connor Holmes.
Just too high as Holmes got a piece of it. And great concentration to get the interception.
Jonathan Wood, number 10, the junior, making the play. So the ball goes right back to Williamstown.
Big defensive play for the Braves.
And a handoff on first down, and Sayreville, they use a timeout. They'll only have 1 remaining after this one is used.
Yeah, the Bombers are going to have to burn their timeouts here.
They're electing not to use the timeout, running this play. So Williamstown will run the clock down a little further. 2 timeouts remaining for Sayreville. 2 timeouts for Williamstown. A 1-point lead, 7-6, as Williamstown, number 7 in New Jersey, trying to finish off an undefeated record here in 2018 and would go to 13-0 and win the South Group 5 Bowl Championship. The most exciting game of the night. Here's Inge, taking the brunt of the defensive work there from Sayreville out past the 19 to the 20-yard line. And now a whistle sounds, stopping the clock with 1:53 left to go here in the 4th, and the second timeout of the game taken by Sayreville.
Well, the Sayreville defense certainly doing their part here. They've come up with one big play after another.
And Sayreville came into this one, Lou, on a 4-game win streak where their defense has been propelling them to those wins. 12.3 points allowed per game. They're going to be even better than that average here tonight unless Williamstown scores a late one here. But it's a prime position. 3rd down and 10 is going to be the scenario facing Sayreville. So if they make a stop here, they'll use their final timeout. And once again, they'll get the ball back to their offense with still plenty of time to run and not have to do a no-huddle offense.
Yeah, they should get it back with relatively good field position.
It seems like we've been repeating ourselves with that same mantra throughout this fourth quarter. Sayreville has had the ball deep in Williamstown's end, and they've turned it over 3 times in Brave territory.
Keep in mind, this is a huge play for Williamstown as well. The Braves could seal the deal if they can get a first down here on this play.
3rd down and 10. The crowd getting loud from Sayreville across the way and beneath us from Williamstown. 3rd down and 10 for Williamstown. Ball spot at their own 20-yard line. Collins still with it. Is he going to throw the ball? He's being pressured and brought down for a sack.
Tremendous defensive play by the Bombers.
Big-time sack there by a big-time player in Javis Rayside.
Rayside got the sack, but it was Connor Anthony who came in and disrupted and destroyed the play. Watch Anthony. He gets in there, and he's chasing Collins, then Rayside came in and finished it off. But Anthony, again, outstanding linebacker, Rayside with the big play. And now,
and interesting here, Lou, that Sayreville electing not to use their final timeout. So Williamstown will burn this clock down as we're coming up on 1 minute remaining here in the fourth quarter. So when the punt is executed, Sayreville still will have a timeout.
You know, Chris Began might be thinking, hey, we got to save that timeout in case we get close enough for a field goal and we need to set up our field goal unit. You know, remember, we're talking high school football here. It's not like the NFL where they get the field goal team on quickly and they can get it set up and they can kick. It takes a little bit more time in high school, and you might need that timeout at that point.
And Williamstown burns the clock all the way down, and just before a penalty would ensue, they take a timeout, so they'll have 1 timeout remaining. And also in the back of Williamstown's mind has to be how close, Lou, last time Sayreville got to a potential punt block that would have been recovered in the end zone.
This is a gambling situation for Sayreville. Do they go for the punt block?
And risk possibly the penalty that could end the game for them.
Correct.
This is the drama we've been waiting for all day long. 50 seconds left to go in this South Group 5 Bowl Championship. Hope that you've been enjoying it as much as we have here tonight at MetLife.
This punt comes from the back of the end zone.
The safety would give Sayreville the lead as well. The snap executed, and the punt is fumbled in the end zone. Is it a touchdown for Sayreville? Touchdown! Oh, what a crazy turn of events.
Connor Holmes with the recovery. What a wild play. Sayreville coming in, and I'm not sure if they actually were coming in for the block, to be honest with you. It didn't look like it.
It looked like it was just the punter fumbling it away.
Yeah, that's, they're not necessarily coming in for the block there.
They looked like it was almost a punt safe routine. They just wanted the return, but it was just the exchange from hand to foot.
And Connor Holmes comes out with it. First man there, Griffin Anthony. Griffin Anthony was the first man to the ball.
And Connor Holmes, the senior leader of this Sayreville defense, finding the loose pigskin in the end zone for the touchdown. Sayreville with their first lead of the evening, coming with 41 seconds left to go in the game. They've been threatening so many times here in the fourth quarter, and they finally push across the points.
And they're going to go for 2 here with the score 12-7.
Trying to extend this lead to 7. Here's the end around to Carter. Carter, wide open man in the back of the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. A little razzle-dazzle there as Carter found Antoine Golson all by his lonesome in the back corner of the end zone. And now Sayreville leads 14-7 over Williamstown And how can the Braves respond here with only 41 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter?
Well, Williamstown certainly has the offensive weapons to make something happen. They have explosive players like Wade Inge and J.C. Collins. So this game is not over yet. But how do you like that play there by Sayreville? Jakari Carter with a beautiful throw on the run to get the 2-point conversion.
So if you're just joining us, fans, this was a 7-6 ball game for the majority of this game. Last time that Sayreville scored was 8:41 left to go in the second quarter. They were threatening 3 times in this fourth quarter and turned it over 3 times deep in Williamstown's end. But a fumble on the exchange trying to get from the punter to his foot. The fumble in the end zone was recovered by Connor Holmes. And that's the difference right now in this game. 41 seconds away is Sayreville. They'll have to kick it off.
First thing Williamstown needs is a good run back here.
It'll be a pooch kick to the middle of the field. Live ball taken into the 30-yard line. Still meandering his way past the 35. So it will be good, decent starting field position for Williamstown. They only have 1 timeout remaining and 36 seconds on the clock.
And remember, they need to get to the end zone. It's got to be a touchdown for the Braves.
And today's broadcast presented by Rothman Orthopedics, the official orthopedic partner of the NJSIAA in the 2018 football championships. From the opening kickoff to the trophy presentations, NJ.com's award-winning staff of reporters and photojournalists put you in the middle of the action. For in-depth coverage of this game, there's going to be a lot of talk about it. At every championship game at MetLife, visit NJ.com/HS Sports. 36 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter. 14-7 Sayreville with their first lead of the night. Collins, the future Minuteman, rolls the pocket, throws, and incomplete off his wide receiver's hands in the far Sayreville sideline. And that Sayreville sideline, along with the fan base and the crowd behind them, Lou, are just absolutely electric here trying to will their team to a come-from-behind victory at MetLife Stadium.
Good job by Collins, though, to get rid of the ball. Only used 7 seconds on that play. One thing that the Braves cannot afford here is a sack, of course.
Williamstown. Collins throws high and off the hands of his intended target. Once again, he was trying to find, this time, Brandon Perkins, number 32. 3rd down and 10 upcoming for Williamstown from their own 38-yard line. And for a Sayreville team, 10-1 on the year, having won Central Group 5, their 6th sectional championship in program history, trying to win their first ever bowl championship here tonight in dramatic fashion. 5 wide receivers, Collins alone in the backfield. Over to the near side and incomplete again. Pressure being forced up top for Sayreville. Looks like by number 52, James Boreski. And now here's the potential final play of the game if Williamstown cannot convert on 4th and 10 from their own 38.
That last play, a very difficult play for J.C. Collins, rolling out to his left and throwing with his right hand. It's very, you're throwing across your body. Pretty tough to do.
And Williamstown will elect Lou to use their final timeout of this game to talk things over with how important this play call is. And you could see the Sayreville sideline. They're ready to erupt as they have seen their team rally from a 1-point deficit. And with that fumble recovery in the end zone and the fumble exchange for the punter, that has propelled them in front, and what an exceptional 2-point conversion as well.
Now, if you're a Braves receiver here, you've got to run your route further than the sticks. You've got to make sure that you go further than the 10 yards to pick up that first down.
First down marker is at the Braves' 48-yard line, just shy of midfield. Again, 5 wide receivers at J.C. Collins' disposal. No timeouts remaining, 16 seconds. Here's Collins across the middle, has a man, first down for Williamstown. Gets it down, and now they have to hurry to the line. As they reset the chains, it will stop the clock, 11 seconds left.
Very good play, though, by DeMonte Campbell.
Collins quickly spikes the ball and doesn't lose that much time. Just 2 seconds come off the clock, 9 seconds remaining for Williamstown, who needs to get into the end zone and have an extra point to maybe force overtime.
Campbell did exactly what he needed to do, got beyond the sticks, and now they've got a shot.
Is this the Hail Mary opportunity here? Collins back to pass. Taking a lot of time, throws it to a receiver, makes the catch, still running with it to the near sideline. Sayreville looking to make the final play of the game as Inge gets dragged down from behind, but a penalty flag. A penalty flag flies at the tail end of that play, and the game cannot end on a defensive penalty. If they had just pushed Inge out of bounds, Sayreville would have won this game as the referees talk things over.
Inge making the decision to try to make a big play to get to the end zone. And looks like the penalty is going to be against Williamstown.
As the Sayreville side is celebrating, we'll wait for the official call. So ineligible man downfield, and that will end the game, and Sayreville, the Bombers, will rally from behind and in dramatic fashion defeat Williamstown and hand the Braves their first loss of 2018 by a final score of 14-7. Sayreville are your 2018 NJSIAA Rothman Orthopedics South Group 5 Bowl champions. And Lou, what an exciting one here. We had 2 blowout landslide victories in the first 2 games of these championships. And we were treated to an exciting finish, a dramatic finish, as Sayreville pulls it out in the end.
Tremendous, tremendous game between 2 outstanding teams. Sayreville winning it on really the most bizarre play, a fumbled punt in the end zone, recovered for a touchdown, and the Bombers go to 11-1 on the season, and Williamstown loses for the first time, a heartbreaking loss for the Braves, but still a great season for them. South Jersey Group 5 champs, and Sayreville caps their sectional championship with a bowl championship here at MetLife Stadium.
So again, that last play was a penalty. It was not a penalty on Sayreville at the end. It was the penalty against Williamstown, and that essentially ended the game as Sayreville will celebrate on their sideline the first ever South Group 5 Bowl championship in program history. What an exciting finish to the first day of championships here at MetLife Stadium. You've been watching the 2018 NJSIAA Rothman Orthopedics Football Championships presented here on NJ High School Sports Live, powered by Local Live. Sayreville coming from behind. We thank our director, Ben Talbot. And for my broadcast partner, besides me, Luke Rogno, I'm Dan Long saying so long from East Rutherford, where Sayreville are your Group 5 South champs.